Please rise for the presentation of colors. Color guard, attention. Color guard, advance. Color guard, post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard, dismissed. Sorry, you may be seated, my bad. The Scouts will now open with the law and oath. Scout law. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2.
Let's bow together for prayer. Father, you tell us that we are to, whether we eat, drink, or whatever we do, that we do all to the glory of God. And so, Lord, as we gather together tonight to celebrate, to honor, Lord, our desire is that we would bring glory and honor to you and the things that we do this evening. So, Father, for every private conversation that takes place around the table, for the things that are said from this platform, Lord, I pray that it would magnify you, make much of the name of Jesus Christ. For, Father, we owe you all things. For you are our Redeemer, our Sustainer, and the one that has reconciled us unto you. So, God, we love you, and we are grateful that you are our God. And we love you, but we know that is only because you loved us first. In the name of Christ Jesus, we pray and give thanks. Amen. Amen.
I'm going to have Jacob Cooper, an Eagle Scout, former, to welcome the new Eagle Scouts.
Hi. Some of you may know my face. Most of you probably don't. But I am the, newest of the leaders. I've been with the troop for 4 or 5 years. It's been a while. Gracious. And I've seen these guys go from, probably about this height to where they're at now, which is close to me, and I'm 6'3". So, Eagle Scouts, Eagle Scout candidates, Nathan and Harrison. As a representative of the Eagle Scouts of the Piedmont Council, I welcome you to the Brotherhood of Eagle Scouts. Barely more than 2% of the boys who enter scouting achieve what have been recognized for tonight. The requirements are demanding but fair, requiring perseverance and ability. I'm not here to talk about your past accomplishment, which are great, but of your future opportunities. I received my Eagle Award more than 8 years ago. Gosh. And in those years, it has continually enriched my life, and it will now yours. When you attend a scouting function, scouters will recognize you as a doer, and you will be standing as an equal among leaders. Your Eagle Award will go far beyond scouting itself, though. When you apply to college or apply for a job, having an Eagle Scout on your application will help, I know, because it helped me a lot. More than that, the things you have done, the leadership and character that you have developed, will stand you in better than a certificate and a piece of ribbon in a frame. You will have opportunities to be of service to others through your school, your work, and through scouting, because you know what you can accomplish. In the years to come, you will casually meet men who are Eagles as well. There will be an instant bond of camaraderie, for you have each shared a common experience. You know that others can be trusted, and as a friend and as a brother scout. The camaraderie among Eagles extends throughout the nation and even around the world. For the rest of your life, you two, you will travel as a marked man, as an Eagle Scout. I've seen them, I'll speak as if I've known them for years, but it's been a very short time. But in that short time, I have seen them grow from kids who just want to run around and not listen to a word I have to say because I barely look older than their brother, to men who are standing there with pride and honor in their souls, knowing that what they've accomplished is a great one that not many really have ever done. So, congratulations, you two. Thank you.
Next, we'll have Chris Angstadt. He's one of the assistant scoutmasters. Been with these guys, a lot of them from the very beginning. Chris has done a lot, and if it wasn't for Chris and Barry and AC, I don't know how I would have ever gotten through any of this. So, thanks, Chris. Thank you.
I've actually been with all of them since they were tiger cubs. They were 6 years old, and it's been a privilege to see this. I've told Sherry, I've told a lot of people that I would stick with this long enough to see the kids that I had as Cub Scouts get their eagle. And actually, the last one just got his last Thursday. But I'll tell you a little short story. I'll be brief. My dad was a Cub master and a Scout master also. And he was here with me one time when we had the rain gutter regatta or something. And the kids were awful. I mean, they were horrible. I was just pulling my hair out. And I was going home with my dad, and I asked him, I said, is it really worth it? He said, I said, is it worth all this? And he said, you know, I used to wonder the same thing. And he said, one day, after he had been out of scouting for a few years, he said, one day I got a letter from a boy who just laid it out, you know, thank you for being there for me. Thank you for everything you did for me. He said, that right there made it all worth it. For me, every time one of these boys gets their eagle, it makes it worth it. And it just makes me so proud to have been part of that. And it makes me feel like my life's actually been worth so much just to see that. And as far as these two boys, you know, they've matured so much over the years. It's just been great just to watch that and to actually experience things with them, you know, hiking and rafting and things like that. It's just been awesome to have been part of it. So thank you, boys, for allowing me to be part of your life. That's all. Thank you all.
Next, we'll have Barry. Barry's going to say a couple things and read a little piece of paper that I gave him. I kind of gave him a job today. I don't know if he expected that or not, but this is Barry Martin.
Thank you all for coming again. You know, I've been involved with the Scouts here at Lutheran Chapel Church for more than a decade. I've been a den leader, Cub master, and I'm an assistant Cub master. And it's been amazing. I've had 3 boys come to Eagle that were from my den. I'm going to take credit for Harrison, too. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But when it comes to Nate, he's had to put up with me for a long time now. He's always strived to be the best scout, the best example of a scout he could be. I've never seen him act in anything less than a scoutly manner. Even when everyone's around him, including me, I've lost it, he's still towing the line. Ever since he was a Tiger, he has always done his best. He continues to do so, still coming to meetings and still stepping up, doing the right thing. He's got to be one of the kindest souls I know. I think just like his dad, he's going to be one of those people that are going to grow up and help to take care of people. I do. And I'm going to go on to Harris. I'm going to confess that he's special to me. Outside of scouting, his parents have let us drag him from Edisto, South Carolina, to the South Toe River, Mount Mitchell, Lake Hartwell. and I've watched him live the Scout Oath and Law on all those trips. He's been a very special friend to my son and my family, and I want to say thank you for that. I've never had to worry about Harrison. His heart is always in the right place. He's always helpful. If he sees something that needs to be done, he doesn't wait to ask, he just does it. He's seen a lot of changes to scouting in our unit, but he's got that commitment to stick with it. And I think that's perseverance and the courage that we all need to admire. I wish them both luck. I don't think they're going to need much. They've had some great life skills. They have great support from good families, and they're just really great young men. They've earned the Eagle rank, and it's been my honor, and I'm humbled to have been a part of that journey. Thank you. And now I'm going to read the Eagle Challenge, which somebody hadn't done before, so we're going to try this. The Eagle rank represents proficiency in all scouting skills. It is attained by about 2% of all young men in scouting. It represents a great deal of teamwork as a member and as a leader in the troop. You demonstrated, by living the Scout Law and Oath, an effort to perpetuate in the scouting spirit. It also represents years of hard work, strength of character, persistence, and more important, it is indicative of what lies in the future as the Scout grows into manhood. Eagle rank testifies that the Scout has an understanding of his community, his nation, and a willingness to become involved. It is also fitting at this time to explain that not only does this badge signify his hard work, it also signifies certain obligations on his part. The first obligation of an Eagle Scout is honor. The white on the Eagle badge represents that honor, and it is the sacred foundation of your character. Character is not what you think of yourself, Harrison and Nathan. It is what you are deep inside. It is what you do to reflect credit upon your home, family, church, school, friends, and yourself. Always let the white of the badge remind you to live with that honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. The blue in the Eagle badge represents that loyalty, your loyalty, for without it, character lacks direction. Regardless of how rough the road, how difficult the task, or how impossible the situation, you must remain loyal to your cause and purpose. It is this sense of belonging, being a part of a team and working together with others. It is standing by your work, your promises, and your pledges. It is also the feeling you give others, knowing that they can count on you. Let the blue of the badge remind you to remain loyal. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is courage. The red in the Eagle badge represents the courage. It gives your character force and strength. If you have faith in God and in your fellow man, you are able to face each day unafraid and strive to share in the work at hand. You should do your part in all things, regardless of the danger, adversity, or hardship. Let the red of the badge remind you of your courage. The fourth obligation is responsibility, and it is represented by the Scout motto, be prepared. It means that you are always in a state of readiness, both in mind and body, so you will be able to face danger and help others to the best of your ability. It also means that you have been trained for emergencies and that you are confident of your ability to do your duty as Eagle Scouts. The fifth and final obligation is that of service. This obligation is represented by the Eagle. You must extend a helping hand to those who still toil upon the scouting trail, just as others have helped you achieve your goal. It means that the daily good turn must continue. You must strive to protect the weak and defend the helpless. The Eagle also indicates you are now an elite member of an esteemed group of world citizens. With this honor comes knowledge that any discredit which falls upon you also falls upon your fellow Eagle Scouts. Are you willing to accept these challenges, obligations, responsibilities to the honor of the Eagle Scout? Remember your obligations to honor, loyalty, courage, responsibility, and service. Our heartfelt congratulations to you on this very, very special occasion, and our sincere hope is that you will always wear your Eagle badge with dignity and pride.
Okay, we have Mike Rice come up, please. He's going to say a little bit about for Harrison.
I'm going to turn since I'm talking to both of you. Harrison and Nathan, it goes without saying that your family and your friends that are here today are very proud of you. As you know, very few young men have persevered and accomplished what you guys have. And from my Google search, I discovered that less than 3% of all scouts have achieved the rank of Eagle. I'm particularly proud of you both because I'm one of the 97%. I got life and 16 merit badges when I quit. So you know how close I came and yet still missed the mark. And to this day, at the age of 59, not having earned my Eagle is one of the greatest regrets in my life. You guys have worked hard for this honor. From the day that you earned your Bobcat or your Tiger Cub, then your Wolf, your Bear, went through Webelos, all the ranks in Scouts, and accumulated all the merit badges that were necessary, and probably more, much more than that. You've been an encouragement to me and to a lot of other folks and to a lot of scouts that will come behind you. And I know that you appreciate what you've done today, but I can assure you, you will appreciate it far more as the years pass. As you become a man, and all the hard work that has gone into this, you're going to recall that. You're going to recall all the sacrifice and the perseverance that you had to put forth to earn your Eagle. And my prayer for you is that when you look back on all that went into you going into being an Eagle Scout, that you'll be able to translate that perseverance and that hard work and that faithfulness into your life as a father and as a husband and as a man at work. When everybody else around you is not working, you're going to continue to be a good employee because you were an Eagle Scout. When things get tough in your marriage, you'll persevere because you know what it is to stand firm. So boys, I want you to know that I commend you and I admire you because you finished what you started over 10 years ago. You have my respect and you have the respect of all of these people in this room today. And I pray that as an adult, you will always live in such a way that honors what it means to be an Eagle Scout. But more than that, my prayer is that you both follow Christ. Nothing's more important. Not your family, not your career, and not even your Eagle is as important as what it means to follow Christ. God says to the prophet Micah, he says, "He has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly before your God." So Harrison and Nathan, I congratulate you both.
At this time, I'd like to have Logan McGuire come up, please.
Well, good evening, everyone, and congratulations to both of you, gentlemen. My name is Logan McGuire. I am the principal at Brookside Elementary School, and Harrison completed his Eagle project by building a shelter on our campus. And it's a shelter that, even though it took him a very, very short amount of time to build, literally, I left school one day, came back the next day, and it was up. And he was texting me saying, do you want a concrete slab underneath it? And I said, yes, absolutely. Literally, that's how short of an amount of time it took to build, and it was very, very high quality. Even though it took that short of an amount of time to build, it's going to bring a lot of joy and a lot of comfort to us for a very, very long time. So I thank you for that, Harrison. When Harrison finished his project, I mentioned to him that I was very, very appreciative and that I wanted to be sure that I attended his Eagle ceremony. And his father texted me and said, would you mind saying a few words? And would you mind saying a few words about the Scouts, about Harrison, about this community, or about anything else you'd like to say a few words about? I said, I'll be happy to. So let's just take that format as I speak here. First of all, the Scouts. I have a great, deep, and admiring respect for the Boy Scouts of America. I was a Scout myself, and I did not get as far as Mr. Rice did. I did not make it to life. I made it to first class. I quit Boy Scouts when I was in the 9th grade because when you get into high school, as you all know, many, many things are demanding your attention. And as I know, not only as a former student, but also as a parent now, I have 3 high schoolers, and sometimes their activities demand my attention so much more than my activities in other areas of life. However, the fact that both of you, and I noticed on the program, both of you are musicians. All 3 of my children are musicians, and I was a musician as well. And when you're a musician in high school, that takes up a lot of your time as well. So it's a testament to both of you that you made it all the way to Eagle Scout with all of those other responsibilities that you have. So I congratulate both of you. Talking about Harrison himself, he has proven to me that he is just a fine, upstanding young man. I've not known him that long. I've only known him since he walked into my door and said, I'd like to do my Eagle Scout project at your school. And then I said to him, okay, well, let me point you in the right direction. I pointed him in the right direction. Next thing I know, there's a shelter at my school, and he's saying, what else can I do? So from that, I know that he's a fine, upstanding young man, and I appreciate everything that he's done for our school. I apologize. I'm sorry that I did not actually have a hand in your education. This is only my 2nd year at Brookside, so I know that you came through there, and I know how dedicated you are to the school and how much you appreciate the education you got there as well. As far as this community, just the turnout here today indicates to me what kind of support these 2 young gentlemen have behind them. And so I appreciate that, and I know they do as well. Our school recently went through a process that many, many schools are going through in reframing and rewriting their vision and mission statements. And I would like to read to you now Brookside's new vision statement. It says, the vision of Brookside Elementary School is to provide a collaborative community which creates responsible, respectful, lifelong learners who are prepared for success. So in my business, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prepare children for life. And when I'm trying to do that, what am I trying to instill in them? Many, many values. Trying to instill in them a good knowledge of reading, writing, math, those kinds of things, but also many other values. I'm trying to teach them to be trustworthy, to be loyal, to be helpful, to be friendly, to be courteous, to be kind, to be obedient, to be cheerful. All of the Scout laws. That's what I'm trying to instill. Gentlemen, congratulations to both of you. While I didn't make Eagle, I have many, many friends who are Eagle Scouts, and they are the most upstanding men that I know. And I congratulate both of you on joining them and setting a good example for the children that I work with every single day. Congratulations.
Okay, at this time, I'd like for Nathan and Harrison to come up on the stage, and for the U.S. submarine veterans to come up. They have a certificate to present to the new Eagle Scouts.
Some of you guys have heard me before. And I got to tell you one thing, I got to brag about my scouting career. I couldn't make it past tenderfoot. But I was a good sailor. We in the United States submarine veterans like to honor these gentlemen when they make Eagle Scout. We think it's quite an accomplishment. And one of our own, and some of you have heard this story, the guys that heard this story, there'll be a test at the end to tell me what the differences was from the last time I told it, okay? There was one of our submarine commanders in World War II, a gentleman by the name of Eugene Fluckey, was the CO of the USS Barb. He made 5 war patrols in World War II. Eugene Fluckey received 4 Navy Crosses and 1 Congressional Medal of Honor. Nobody's ever matched that before or after. But one of the things on his last war patrol he did, which was kind of unique, Eugene Fluckey and them guys at the end of the war, it was like in July 1945. There wasn't a lot of Japanese shipping to go sinking anymore because we'd already sunk most of them. I guess they got bored, and he was on patrol off the coast of Japan, and he saw this train going back and forth carrying supplies. And I guess they got really bored and wanted something to do, and they come up with a scheme to blow up this train from a submarine. And what he did was they planned this evolution, but they couldn't figure out, you gotta remember, now we're 1945, it ain't today. And they had a gentleman on board. They got to figure out how to do the explosives. What they use for explosives, by the way, is on submarines back in those days, and even in my early career, we used to carry little boxes of 50 pounds of TNT. And on the submarines I was on, when we go on certain deployments, we'd carry 3 of them, one in the forward room, one in the aft room, and I sat on one in my radio room. And if we got in trouble, and the same way in World War II, to prevent our submarine from being captured, we would detonate those things. So they took one of those explosive devices, and they said, okay, we can go blow this train up. And they said, well, how are we going to blow it up? I mean, what's going to trigger it? And one of their crew, a guy by the name of Billy Hatfield, said when he was a kid, he used to go out and put little nuts on the train track, and the train would come by and crack the nuts. And he said, you know, we can build a switch under that, quote, micro switch nowadays, and hook at these explosive, and when the train comes by, boom. And so they had a plan, and they finally got it in there, and then they had to select their people to go ashore. First requirement was nobody could be married. Second requirement is they tried to get 1 member from each department on the ship. And they also selected both Navy and Reserve personnel. And one of the other requirements, which kind of gets us to tonight, sort of, is at least half the members had to be Boy Scouts. Why Boy Scouts? The Boy Scout training. I'm going to tell you guys, you may find this hard to believe, but sailors ain't too good in the woods, okay? That's just not our thing, okay? And so, and it was in case when they went ashore, if something happened and the submarine was going to leave them, that those guys would have a chance of survival in Japan. And anyway, they went aboard, and they went up at midnight on the 23rd of July, rode their little raft up there, went up there, set their thing. And one of the things that they didn't see was they got up there to do this thing, and all of a sudden there's one of these stands up there, and there's a Japanese guard up there. And the good news was, like he wasn't in the Marine Corps, he was in the Army, okay, get this. He was asleep on watch, so they got to do their thing, okay? Good Marines wouldn't do that no matter what nation they're from, okay? Anyway, they blew this train up. And when they set their charges and the train came by and blew it up, those guys were credited with the only invasion of Japan during World War II from a submarine, of all people. And Eugene Fluckey got a Navy Cross for that. He got his Medal of Honor for something else. Eugene Fluckey was credited on his 5 war patrols of sinking 17 ships in World War II, including a carrier, a cruiser, and a frigate. Eugene Fluckey passed away in 2007. And the good thing about Eugene Fluckey, that his very proudest thing, it wasn't blowing up a train, it wasn't getting Congressional Medal of Honor. His proudest accomplishment in his life was he was an Eagle Scout. Okay? And we're very proud of that. And I was actually fortunate in my first deployment on a submarine. I got to meet Eugene Fluckey. He was a force commander, and we were on our way to Westpac, and I got to meet the gentleman. He's a fine guy. But that just shows you part of his background because of what you guys have accomplished, and this lineup over here too, I think, and scouting, the background it is. Now I'm going to turn this over to my cohort, and we're going to present a couple of certificates and a couple of patches to these guys. Tom, you're on.
Thanks, Steve. I'm going to make a presentation. The United States Submarine Veterans Incorporated and the Carolina Piedmont Base in recognition of outstanding achievement to Nathan Andrew Linkous, Harrison James Rice. By completing the arduous tasks required to receive your Eagle Scout Award, you have demonstrated the qualities of leadership, honor, devotion to duty, and patriotism that place you head and shoulders above many young men and women today. By adopting the high code of ethics necessary to attain the Eagle Scout Award, you have made the Scout Oath and the Scout Law a part of your everyday life. You have set an example for other young Americans and made your parents, family, and educators proud. I present to you this day, the 27th day of January 2018, honorary submariner awards from the United States Submarine Veterans Incorporated. Nathan? Congratulations. Harrison? Congratulations. Thank you. And also have I think you guys like patches, right? Congratulations. None. Thank you.
Navy, we say, well done.
Thank you
very much.
At this time, I would like to have the Marine Corps League come up. They have a certificate to present.
Glad you came up here. I was going to get you in a minute. Never mind. I can do that. A lady. I can change my mind, right? Well, good evening. We're very honored to be here tonight to help honor these two who did all the work. And I know we've been here for a couple of the other young men who've earned their Eagle as well. And we wanted to come and just join in the honoring of you guys. I am Laura Hamilton, and this is Glenn Perkins. We're with the Marine Corps League here in Gaston County. And it is our privilege and honor to be here for the court for Nathan and Harrison. I want to make sure I get the names right. You have achieved so I don't step off. You have achieved Scouting's highest honor of rank, Eagle Scout. And I know the trail hasn't been easy, even though I never got to have the fun you guys got to have. And I've heard many different percentages. I have 4%, you guys have 2%, I heard 3%.
Somewhere around in there.
Somewhere in the under 95%.
Under 95%.
Who achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. You made the choice to better yourself and to build the foundation for a strong future. The life lessons that you've learned in scouting will guide you through whatever path you choose to follow. By becoming an Eagle Scout, you've also joined the ranks of other great men. Neil Armstrong, President Ford, Mitchell Page, Marine Corps Colonel and Medal of Honor recipient, J. Willard Marriott, Jr. of the Marriott Hotel chain, Steven Spielberg, you guys should still know who he is, Ross Perot, maybe before your time, he ran for president and he was a very rich man, Mike Rowe of the Dirty Jobs, love that gentleman. As a scout, You have taken an oath, chosen to follow a set of laws, and live by a motto, just as many other young men have done before you. Not only in scouting, but also in the armed forces that defend our nation and the law enforcement officers and firemen who protect our cities. All these organizations have something in common. They have dedicated young men who want to serve, protect, make a difference in their communities, their state, and their nation. As you follow your path through life, remember to hold your head high and be proud that you are an Eagle. And this is my pleasure to, and Glenn's, because Glenn's going to do this, to present you with the Marine Corps League Good Citizenship Award to Nathan Andrew Linkous. Get the full names right. And Harrison James Rice. This the 27th day of January. Don't you know what day of the year we are? And I know you shake left-handed. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, I want to thank all of the speakers tonight. I really appreciate it. You people up front, you might want to go ahead and reach under your seat and get your raincoats out, because I don't know if I can go through this or not.
Yeah, you can.
Chris and Barry, could you come back up, please? And AC, if you would, please. You guys, it's been a long road. I'm really proud of you. I told you when you crossed over from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts that you had ended one journey and started another. Well, tonight you're ending one journey and starting another. But you are Eagle Scouts, and you'll always be Eagle Scouts. And I'm proud of both of you. Extremely proud. Change their neckerchiefs.
How many scout leaders does it take to put a neckerchief on? These things are very small.
They're cooperative.
It's not the best, but get it.
I think we got it.
like to present to you the two newest Eagle Scouts for Troop 35. This time I'd like for my wife and Harrison's parents to come up, let the boys have a presentation for them as well. All right, the boys also have pins that they give to people that that influenced them through their scouting career. I think they have one that comes with the kit, and they also have some that they wanted to give to other people. So at this time, they'll tell you who it is and bring them up.
My first mentor pin I'd like to give to my dad for sticking with me and pushing me forward to where I am now. My second pin I'd like to give to Barry Martin for always being there and always being a phone call away. No matter what we were doing and when we were doing it. My third and final pin will be going to Harry Linkous for always being there whenever we needed him, and for also pushing me to get all my Eagle required, even when I did not want to.
My first mentor, Ben, I would like to give to Barry Martin for being just such a good leader through Cub Scouts and everything.
Thank you, sir.
My second mentor pin I'd like to give to Chris Inkstead for always being there, just being helpful and everything. Second, I would like to give to AC. Excuse me. My third, I would like to give to Reese for also just being there and just being a good leader. My final one I'd like to give to somebody who's been very special in my life, just always been helpful for me, been like a second dad, I would say, and I'd like to give my final one to my grandpa.
I appreciate that.
And actually, I missed one.
He
My
likes
last
to forget
one.
that.
I'm
My
always
last
forgetting
one,
that.
I'd like to give to my dad for being a really good scoutmaster and a great dad.
I also want to thank Sheree and Doug Martin. Again, if y'all hold up your plaques. Sheree and Doug have always, y'all got them backwards.
Present each other.
Sheree and Doug have always done this for the Eagle Scouts and our troop. We really appreciate it. I mean, I know it takes a lot of time, and they've always done it. Thank you very much. Again, I can't express how proud I am of these boys, my son. I'm lucky, AC, both of our kids were Eagle Scouts. And that's rare. It's rare enough to have one. It's really rare to have two. And it just, you always want your kids to be better, to do better than you. My kids have done better than me. I was a scout, but I never made it anywhere close to what they done. They've accomplished a big thing, a great thing, and I'm extremely proud of all of them. All of you are also part of this. You know, it takes family, it takes friends, it takes everything. So I want to thank all of you for helping these guys get their Eagle Scout. So thank you very much. With that, I think that's all. I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm extremely happy that you came. We had a great turnout. And again, I can't tell you how much I want to thank each and every one of you for everything that you've done for us and to make us successful. At this time, we're going to do a closing. We're going to retire the flags and do a closing. Guys, y'all come up and take the flag, please. Everyone stand, please.
Color guard, attention. Color guard, retire the colors. We are now closed. Oh, I'm sorry. The Scouts will now close with the Scout benediction. May the great master of all Scouts be with us till we meet again. 2.
Thank you, guys.
Nice.